Here we are at the MGB. Just got done and finished installing the gas tank. That fitting was kind of expensive. That fitting right there was like 36 bucks. My old fitting was junk. Got that made at the Parker store, if anybody's curious. But here we go. There we are. There's the new gas tank all hung up. All the lines hooked up. Fuel pumps hooked up. Lines hooked up. It's ready to rock and roll. I could actually throw gas in it and see whether or not it runs. Or stays running. There's the new sender. The new sender is a little bit different than the senders that used to be on it. The sender that used to be on it only had like 2 prongs on it, and the second prong wasn't used. It was actually a ground. But that sender will not work unless it's grounded. I checked it, and when I was checking it, I had to ground it to actually get it to read the ohms. So I know it works. I checked it out. I actually hooked the green wire up to ground, straight grounded. My gas gauge went to full when I turned the key on, so that was good. When I hooked this up, hooked it up with ground, hooked it up to ground, I moved the float up and down. It moved the gauge up there, so I know it works. Some other things we did, just if you're curious, I probably messed up my fuel gauge, but if you want to adjust it, there's the adjustment for the full side, and the other adjustment is over here directly across, and that's for the empty side. I tried doing it. I think I ended up messing it up because I used that to stick in there to move it back and forth, and I probably shouldn't have used the scriber. But got my battery on charging. The other thing I did, this is a 3236 Weber. I got that one all hooked up and ready to rock and roll. Got the whole kit. It was like 380 bucks, so it came with the intake, carburetor. It's an electric choke. This car is, or used to be, a manual choke. It is now a upgraded it's now upgraded to an electric choke, so I won't have to cut that hole out for the dash, so that's good. I'm probably going to end up getting those gauges, upgrading those gauges, because I got to get rid of the fuel gauge anyway, so I'm probably just going to have somebody make me some the gauges. I think Speed Hut or something like that makes them. But here's a tech tip. I replaced, this is my clutch, there's my brakes. I replaced the master cylinders on both of them. If you wonder why you're getting a pedal, you have fluid in here and you have no pedal, come down here. Hopefully you don't live on the East Coast or live, in Ohio or anything like that, to where there's a lot of rust, because this would be hard, be a pain in the ass, and I don't know whether or not it would actually be worth the risk to try to take those off. But since we're out here in the Midwest, might as well take them off. So what I did was I loosened them all, not all at once. I just loosened them enough to where the fluid would come down as soon as it started dripping. A nice good constant flow. I tightened it back up, went to the next one, kept doing it. Then we started getting a pedal, and then I went down and I bled the brakes. Probably going to end up having to re-bleed them. No problem, no worries, it's easy. So we're all good, we're all ready to rock and roll. I could put gas in it, but we're going to get all this stuff welded in first. Doesn't make sense to put gas in it and actually take a chance of catching something on fire or anything like that, but we're doing it good. Probably going to end up taking this valve cover off. It's got the nice chrome air cleaner on it, so I'm probably going to end up taking that off, and I'll probably find some paint down at AutoZone or something like that, and I'll spray paint that real nice red. I thought about doing the silver or something like that, but then I started thinking, I'm like, well, the car's going to be red anyway, so might as well match that. So it's looking good. We're getting it. Hopefully we get this done this year, September. Just getting ready to rock and roll, hooking it up. Getting things done, man. We'll get it done. This will be a fun little car.